Hi friends, it's Top Facts with you, and today we're going to take you on an exciting journey through the amazing world of unusual facts. Get ready for a flood of amazement, because today's video is filled with amazing stories that you may not have heard yet. Let's dive into the unexplored corners of knowledge together! Imagine that you can store in your head about 2,000 years worth of information in a high-resolution video. Or that there is a city in the world where it is forbidden to die. Or that Japan has a term for children abandoned by their parents in train station luggage lockers. Or that artists once used paints made from mummies. These facts may seem unbelievable, but they are very real. In this video, we'll look at each of them and see how they relate to us and the world we live in. The human brain is an incredible device capable of storing a huge amount of information. Scientists estimate that the memory capacity of the human brain is approximately 2.5 petabytes. This is equivalent to about 2,000 years of high-definition video recording. This amount of memory capacity allows a person to memorize a huge amount of information, including facts, events, names, faces, and even music and poems. Humans are also capable of learning and adapting to new situations, which requires constant information processing and updating. Human memory consists of two main types, short-term and long-term memory. Short-term memory allows a person to retain information for a short period of time, for example, while reading a text or listening to a speech. Long-term memory allows a person to retain information for longer periods of time, such as memories of childhood or knowledge gained in school. Human memory is a complex and not fully understood process. Scientists continue to study how memory works and how its function can be improved. Here are some interesting facts about human memory. The human brain can store information throughout life, but as we age, the ability to remember new information decreases. Stress can negatively affect memory by making it harder to remember new information. Memory exercises, such as games and puzzles, can help improve memory function. Memory is a valuable gift that allows a person to learn, develop, and adapt to new situations. By taking care of our memory, we can preserve it for years to come. The Norwegian town of Longyear, located in the Svalbard archipelago, has an unusual law that prohibits dying on its territory. This law was passed in 1925, when Longyear was still a mining village. There are several reasons why this law was passed. First, Longyear is located far away from the main territory of Norway, and transporting a dead person's body to Norway would have been expensive and difficult. Second, at the time, Longyear was a small settlement with limited medical resources. If a person died, it would have been difficult for the settlement to provide proper care for the body before it was transported to Norway. According to the law, if someone dies in Longyear, their body must be immediately transported to Norway. The transportation of the body is at the expense of the relatives of the deceased or at the expense of the state. The law on the prohibition of death in Longyear is a subject of controversy. Some people believe that this law violates a person's right to die in a place they consider home. Others believe that this law is necessary to ensure that the bodies of deceased people are properly cared for. Here are some interesting facts about the Longyear death ban. The law does not apply to people who die as a result of accidents or natural disasters. In such cases, the bodies of deceased people can be buried in Longyear. The law also does not apply to people who die in nursing homes or hospitals. In such cases, the bodies of deceased people can be buried in Longyear if the relatives of the deceased do not object. The law prohibiting deaths in Longyear is one of the few laws of its kind in the world. Similar laws exist in some other countries, such as Japan and Israel. Despite the controversy, the Longyear death ban remains in force to this day. The term locker babies in Japan refers to children left in lockers at train stations. The phenomenon became widely known in 1975 when dead twins were found in a luggage locker at a Tokyo train station. Since then, more than 200 children have been found left in luggage lockers in Japan. These children ranged in age from infants to teenagers. Most of them were abandoned by mothers who were unable or unwilling to raise them. There are several reasons why women leave their children in holding cells. Some women do so in a state of desperation, seeing no other option. Other women leave their children to get rid of them or to get their partners to return to them. Children left in holding cells often experience psychological trauma. They may feel abandoned and unwanted. Some children grow up with feelings of shame and guilt. In Japan, there are a number of programs aimed at helping children from luggage lockers. These programs provide children with psychological support, education, and help in finding adoptive parents. Here are some interesting facts about luggage locker children in Japan. Most of the children from the holding cell are girls. Locker room children are most often born out of wedlock. Many children from the holding cell have mental or physical disabilities. Despite the efforts of the authorities and public organizations, the problem of locker children remains a hot topic in Japan. In the 16th and 17th centuries, artists used paints made from mummies to create unique colors. These paints were very expensive and were prized for their durability and brightness. Mummies were used to make paints for several reasons. First, their skin was rich in keratin, which gives the colors durability and elasticity. Second, mummies were available in large quantities, making paints made from them accessible to artists. To make paints from mummies, their skin was ground to a powder and then mixed with various binders, such as egg yolk, honey, or resin. The resulting paints could be dyed in different colors by adding other pigments to them. The most popular colors produced from mummies were yellow, brown, and black. The yellow color was obtained by adding mealybug or cinnabar to the mummy. Brown color was obtained by adding ochre or umber to the mummy. Black color was obtained by adding soot or charcoal to the mummy. Colors from mummies were used to create various works of art, including paintings, frescoes, and sculptures. They were particularly popular in Italy, where they were used by artists such as Titian, Caravaggio, and Rembrandt. In the 18th century, the use of mummy paints began to decline due to growing concerns about their origins. Some people believed that using mummies to make paints was unethical because it disturbed the peace of the dead. Other people believed that paints made from mummies could be harmful to health because they contained various toxins. Today, the use of paints from mummies is extremely rare. However, some artists continue to use them to create unique works of art. Here are some interesting facts about mummy paints. Mummy paints were not only used by artists, but also by beauticians. They added them to creams and face masks to give the skin a golden hue. Mummy paints were so popular that they were even sold in pharmacies. They were used to treat various diseases such as jaundice and rickets. Mummy paints were so expensive that they were sometimes used as currency. In some countries, they were used to pay for taxes or services. Despite their controversial history, mummy paints are a unique example of how people use different materials to create works of art. Alien hand syndrome is a neurological condition in which one of the hands can act against a person's will. The condition is also known as Dr. Strangelove syndrome, named after the character from the novel of the same name. Alien hand syndrome usually occurs after a stroke, brain injury, or multiple sclerosis. In this condition, there is damage to the conductive pathways in the brain that are responsible for controlling hand movements. Symptoms of alien hand syndrome can range from mild to severe. In some cases, a person may only experience minor twitching or involuntary movements of the arm. In other cases, the hand may perform purposeful actions that go against the person's wishes, such as dressing, eating, or even violence. Alien hand syndrome can be very debilitating and limiting for the person. It can lead to social isolation, depression, and loss of self-confidence. Treatment for alien hand syndrome depends on its severity and cause. In some cases, drug therapy may help. In other cases, surgery may be required. Unfortunately, there is no complete cure for alien hand syndrome. However, with treatment, it is possible to reduce symptoms and improve a person's quality of life. Here are some interesting facts about alien hand syndrome. Alien hand syndrome was first described in 1908 by French neurologist Jules Desjardins. Alien hand syndrome is more common in men than in women. Alien hand syndrome can occur at any age, but it is most common in people between the ages of 40 and 60. Although alien hand syndrome can be a very serious condition, it is important to remember that it is not fatal. With treatment, it is possible to reduce symptoms and improve a person's quality of life. If you enjoyed this topic, I encourage you to learn more about each of these phenomena. You will find a lot of information about it on the internet. You can also share this video with your friends and acquaintances so that they too can learn about these amazing and mysterious facts. Subscribe to the channel, put a like, write an interesting comment, and bye!